If you're new to Xero and you're about to start entering old transactions and property purchases from previous years, stop. There's a faster, cleaner way to do this. I'm a property accountant and a portfolio landlord. I help property investors get on Xero and master their property finances. In this video, I'll show you how to use Xero's opening balances to bring existing properties into Xero correctly. I'll start with the company example using a trial balance, then compare this to a simpler sole trader setup so you can choose the right approach for your situation. Let's start with some definitions. What we're talking about then is opening balances. This is essentially your starting position in terms of accounting code balances on a specific date in Xero. So that means if we get this right, we don't have to go back and do historical bookkeeping in Xero. We can simply put the numbers in as at a certain date, which acts as the starting position, and then do bookkeeping forward from that date onwards. For limited companies, we're going to need a report called a trial balance. A trial balance is a list of all the accounting balances for all the different accounting codes at a certain point in time. You'll be able to get this from your accountant. For a sole trader, you might not have a trial balance because you don't have to submit formalised accounts. The key thing is, with both cases, both sides of the opening balances, known as debits and credits, must balance, otherwise Xero is not going to allow us to submit the opening balances. With a trial balance, debits and credits will balance, as this is a prerequisite of the report. As a sole trader, you just need to be able to replicate this with a much more simplified version. Before we go into the demonstrations then, I'm going to assume that you've already set up your bespoke property-specific chart of accounts in Xero. Chart of accounts lists all of your accounting codes and should include one for each of your properties and mortgages. If you don't have this yet, click on the link below and I've got a short 7-day email course which includes a chart of accounts for limited companies and for sole traders. The next step is to set up a conversion date. This is usually a month end or the end of your accounting period. Basically, your opening balances represent your position as at that date. It's often simplest to use the last date of your accounting period, whether you're a limited company or a sole trader. And as a sole trader, your bookkeeping year in Xero doesn't have to match the UK tax year. Many landlords choose a simple 12-month period like a calendar year, and some keep to the 31st of March just to keep things nice and tidy. Your accountant will deal with your year-end position. Okay, let's go into the demonstrations now. Okay, so we're just going to take you through a trial balance now. So this is a dummy trial balance, and importantly, as discussed, we're going to basically use this to show in Xero at a point in time what all of our balances for all our different accounting codes were. So with a limited company, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Your accountant will be able to provide you a trial balance which shows the balance as at the last day of your accounting period. So we've said this company, it has its accounting period ending on the 31st of March. And so when your accounts were produced, your accountant will be able to provide you with a trial balance, which will show you all of the balances. And importantly, all of the debits, which includes assets. So you've got your bank account there, your investment property, and all of your expenses needs to equal and will equal to all of your credits, which includes all of your loans, so your liabilities, all of your income, so your rents, and then all of your equity as well. So you've got your share capital and your profit and loss. So yeah, if your accountant gives you a trial balance that doesn't balance, then something's seriously wrong. You probably need to find a new accountant. This is a really simplified version. It's going to be really straightforward to put that into Xero. With a sole trader setup, it's slightly different. You're not going to have a trial balance. You're unlikely to produce any kind of formalized accounts, but it is still fairly straightforward to set up a kind of mock trial balance, which you can use to put into Xero into the opening balances. So as with the kind of company trial balance, you're still going to have debits, which will include your assets. So you'll have, like, say you have a business bank account, for example, the value of your investment properties, and all of your expenses as well from the previous period. So you've got, some example ones in there. Then down the right hand side, you're still going to have your mortgages and your income, so your rents. But you'll notice in this case, they don't actually balance up. So if we try to put these into Xero, it's not going to let us. Because we don't have formalized counts, and with sole traders, it's really straightforward. All we can do is just post any kind of difference between the two to make sure them balance, make them balance to drawings. And drawings just represents, with a sole trader business, it's not like with a company where you have to kind of formally pay yourself a salary and dividends to get money out of it. It's basically you have full access to all of the kind of money within a sole trader setup. So you can just put it in and take it out as required. obviously as long as you're meeting all of your personal tax liabilities. So all we're going to do here is just add a balancing amount to drawings to make them both add up. So if I put in 49,000 here in this case, they're both now going to add up, and that's going to enable us then to put them into Xero. So what we'll do now is we'll flick over to Xero. We'll start off with the company example, and we'll put it into Xero. Right, so over in Xero then, we're going to click under accounting settings. We're then going to look for conversion balances, and then click conversion date. Remember the date we're going to use is the 31st of March 2024 in this case. So we're going to change the year to 2024. And then we're basically looking for this bottom bit here. That wants to say the 31st of March. So if you put it to April, it basically then changes it to the correct date. For this conversion date, you need to enter your conversion balances, also known as opening balances, as at the 31st of March. So yeah, we'll go over the 31st of March, you put April in here under the month. So that means that basically from the 1st of April, then we can then start doing our bookkeeping as normal. So let's click save. And what we'll do now is we'll add all of our balances in. So we're going to click basically in here and add new lines. So for each of those lines, as per the trial balance, we're going to add them all in. So let's just keep referring back. And what I'll do is so we've got to see our current account's 5,000 as a debit because it's an asset. We had our investment property, and remember, just to point out as well, it's likely in your trial balance you won't have a separate accounting code for each of your investment properties and each of your mortgages. You're going to have to break those down separately. You'll probably know this, what the value of all of them is, or you should do at least. So that's something you have to do. If you can merge everything together in Xero, but it just becomes a bit messy. It's better that you can report separately and have a different accounting code for each property. But it is possible in the future to adjust this. If you want to just keep it nice and simple for now, put them all in together. Okay, so we've got our investment property there. What did we say the balance was? 100,000. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to copy it exactly as per the trial balance. Going to go all the way down. We've got equity now, so we've got all of our assets down the left-hand side, our liabilities down the right-hand side, and our income down the right-hand side, our expenses down the left-hand side, and then our equity will go down the right-hand side, sorry. So share capital, and our retained earnings, which is profit and loss account. Cool, and we can check here adjustments. You can see they both add up, so that's going to work perfectly. So we can just click save now, and that will save them. What we can do now is just to check it worked. We can go into reporting. We'll open up a balance sheet and a profit and loss. Okay, with the profit and loss, then we'll see that the figures we put in for income and expenses all appear in here, which is good. Then we go to the balance sheet. We'll be able to see that all of the assets and liabilities and equity have been added in correctly here as well. So that's basically worked, and now it means we've got a clean slate. So from the 1st of April 2024, we can start to put all our figures in normally and use kind of bookkeeping. So this means we've got the correct start state. What I'll do now is I'll just show you quickly how you do it for a sole trader. Click under conversion balances. Yeah, and basically we'll just delete these and show you again how to do it, but it's the same principle. So we're just going to refer now to our, dummy trial balance we've set up just for a sole trader business, where we're basically going to list all of our assets down the left-hand side, all of our liabilities down the right-hand side, and all of our income down the right-hand side, all of our expenses down the left-hand side, and then we're going to have that balancing figure for drawings to make sure they both balance up to the same amount. And we're just going to exactly the same. We're going to put the same figures in, which I'll do now. The only difference is we're not going to have a direct loan account. There'll be no share capital, but there will be drawings instead, which just is basically representative of how much money the owner of the sole trader business put in and out of the business, which they're free to do. So yeah, just quickly put the numbers in as before. Yeah, and then the final one, as mentioned, we're just going to add drawings. So yeah, in the chart of accounts, which I talk about, I've got two, which you can sign up to a 7-day course on how to get set up on Xero. In that, on about day 3, you'll get 2 chart of accounts you can download. One of them's for a sole trader, which will have drawings. The other one's for a company, which will have things like share capital and profit and loss account. That's the key difference. So again, as I said before, that's going to be a balancing figure to make sure they both agree. As long as you're making sure you've got all your assets down the left-hand side, all your liabilities down the right-hand side, all of your income down the right-hand side from the previous year, all your expenses from the previous year down the left-hand side, and then it'll just be a balancing figure to make sure they both add up. And then we can click save. There's also, you're able to lock them as well. If you want to kind of avoid making any mistakes where you go to adjust it later, you're able to lock that too. So click save. And then again, as before, just go into your profit and loss and your balance sheet. Balance sheet, you've got your assets and your liabilities in there. They're all correct. With a lot of sole trader businesses, they don't have a separate business bank account. I strongly recommend you do get one. It's going to make it a lot easier to use Xero if you have a separate bank account. You're able to set up a business bank account despite you not being a limited company. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Otherwise, you're going to have all the kind of personal transactions thrown in there, which is going to make it really confusing. So yeah, that's a key thing to do. I'm going over to the profit and loss. Yeah, we can confirm that's all in there. Sorry, one last thing to check in the balance sheet. Didn't talk about, you've got drawings there. So that's going to be the kind of that balancing figure I talked about. If you're ready to get set up on Xero correctly as a property investor, I've got 7 days of training, which you can click below. This includes a chart of accounts for a sole trader and a limited company. And if you like this video, you're going to love the next one where I take you through the process of how to set up that chart of accounts in Xero correctly so you can master your finances as a property investor. Watch the video now.